Previously.
So our running leaderboard now, going forward from February, will now be coming in at number 5, Watch the Throne LeBron 9s. Coming in at number 4, Cardinal Air Jordan 3. Coming in at number 3, Notre Vans pack. Coming in at number 2, the Johns 990 V3. And coming in at number 1, the Union Dunk in the pistachio colorway.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Soul Rankings. He is Connor, I am Lawrence. March was madness, and we saw an incredible month of releases. So let's not waste any time. Here are the best 5 releases from the month of March, starting off with number 5.
Coming in at number 5, we have the Jordan 3 Muslin colorway. Now, as far as Jordan 3s go this year, we've kept it pretty traditional, elephant print color blocking and regular leather materials, but went a little bit different this time around with the Jordan 3 Muslins. Overall, it was a toss-up between these and the Jordan 12 playoffs, but was excited about the possibilities of these Jordan 3s a little bit more. Cool canvas upper that I'm sure the community is going to have a fun time being able to play around with tie-dyes and different kinds of things, and especially after coming off a year where we're finally starting to move away from elephant print on the Jordan 3, I think the color blocking and the execution of this one is quite good for pushing forward on a future of some more challenging ones out there.
Yeah, I like these, Connor. I think that a lot of these shoes that look a lot like another really hype shoe get a bad rap, but they always stand the test of time too. Like the Mocha Jordan 1 was being referred to as like the un-Travises or the cheap Travises, and now look at the Mocha Jordan 1, right? So see a bright future for the Muslin Jordan 3, and I'm really happy with where it is at number 5. All right, so coming in at number 4, and I do want to preface this by saying we took the easy way out this episode, and a lot of the stuff we picked was full of packs, because this month of March was so jam-packed that pun very much intended, that we had no choice but to include packages and collections, because if we didn't, there would be so many things left off the list. So with that preface aside, coming in at number 4, we have the remainder of the Union Dunk Low Pack, the Argon and the Royal. So these are the follow-up to the pistachio that came out last month. We have a Lakers looking colorway, and we have a really light blue tint looking colorway. Union kind of dropped these on our head like right at the end of the month, because March apparently wasn't busy enough. They needed to give us even more. And yeah, not the strongest. I think prefer the pistachio overall, but I think we would be remiss if they did not make it on this list.
And I don't think it would be right if we put the pack on without being able to talk our personal preferences as far as which ones are the favorites. So I know you mentioned the pistachios before, but considering we're just talking March here, which one are we feeling a little bit more, the Argons or the Royals?
It's got to be the Argon for me.
It's got to be the Argon for me as well. And asking the staff at SoleSavy, it looked like it was staying on that vibe as well. So I think that University Blue hype is still going strong.
It's crazy because there was a lot of like bashing this collaboration when the pictures were first released. And it seems like all of those feelings are gone. Coming in at number 3, Connor, take it away.
Absolutely. At number 3, we have the Oski X Nike SB Dunk Highs in the Great White Shark colorway. This is a follow-up to a pair that actually released in 2019, so I had a little bit of space before we got our second colorway of these, but I think these are looking very, very clean, even in comparison to the other Great Whites that we ended up seeing before. If you're not familiar, Oski is somebody on the Nike SB roster who's been kicking up a lot of notoriety on both his Instagram and also on that Nike SB YouTube account. So as far as being really, really embedded in the culture, it's really cool to see another Nike SB that is so embedded inside of skate culture. And for as simple of a play as it is of being able to switch out that swoosh for a shark, I think that that's an awesome trademark to be able to do on a clean white dunk. I don't think there's anything else that you can really go wrong with on a shoe like this.
It's just a really cool shoe. It's like it's playful, but it's also very simple and wearable. You really can't complain. This is a great shoe. All right, coming in at number 2, and I will say from personal opinion base only, number 1 and number 2 were neck and neck for me. Like these have been, for me, the 2 shoes packs of the year in number 1 and number 2. So if this is very close, so anybody who wants to slide into my DMs and complain, go for it, first of all, but also just know that it was very, very close. And that's Concepts Air Max 1 collection. It consisted of 3 Air Max 1s based on the 60s and 70s, the hippie era, psychedelics, all that kind of stuff. We started off the month with the Mellow, then we followed it up with the Heavy, and we're closing out the month on Air Max Day with the Far Out, which for me is my personal favorite. And that was before I saw the special packaging with the bus and the bandana and the coasters and the everything. It's just so freaking cool. All of these 3 shoes scream everything I love about a shoe. And yeah, I think these I know it's early, will stand the test of time and last to the end of the year.
I think it's a really, really special shoe, and it's executed really, really well by a company that's no stranger to collaborations, but absolutely nailed it on both presentation as well as theming and story. So very, very happy to have these at the number 2, but I have a feeling we're going to get a little bit controversial for number 1. And who else but the Sultan of Supreme to be able to present number 1 for us?
I've been looking forward to these shoes since they were revealed last year in 2021, and I was very excited that they finally saw a release. It is the Nike Dunk High in collaboration with Supreme, the By Any Means pack. So it's based on a very random, very obscure New Era collaboration from like, I want to say 2009, where they put the By Any Means branding on a Yankee fitted. And now all of a sudden, like over 10 years later, they've resurged and they put it on a Nike Dunk High. And just everything about this is incredibly Supreme. The obnoxious like branding, the random spurts of like lettering and words all over the shoe. You like to see the typical red and white Supreme and that kind of thing, but we saw very untypical Supreme colors come out, which is also really cool. I could gush all day about these shoes. I really like the pack, and I think they're going to also stand the test of time and last on my personal top list of the year.
I was figuring this was actually going to be the most controversial pick out of the list, because I have actually heard a lot of mixed reception on these. But personally, even as somebody who doesn't really rock with the brand as much, I thought that this was one of their best collaborations in years. Paid homage to their history and really let you to dig deep into the context of what they were making the shoe for. Also, most of the Supreme collaborations that have hit on dunks have been really, really good thus far, and I think this does a really, really good job of continuing that legacy within the same kind of bounds of it. And with that means we're going to be taking a look at our running list, and I think February is going to be running scared of this March list because it was a March takeover. Lawrence, you want to run down what we have on our running list?
Coming in at number 5 is the Jordan 3 Muslin. Coming in at number 4 is the Union Nike Dunk Low City Pack. Coming in at number 3 is the Concepts Air Max 1 collection. Coming in at number 2 is the Jound 990 V3. Coming in at number 1 is the Supreme Dunk High collection By Any Means. All right, Connor, so I have one question. You don't have to tell me what, and this is how we're going to close it out. My answer to the question is yes. To preface it, has the shoe of the year already released now at the end of March?
I don't think so, no. And especially considering that March took me by as so much surprise, I'm not ready to make a commitment like that. I think there are still other ones coming up. There's also Chicago's looming on the horizon, so I have a feeling that we're going to have a pretty strong contending list as soon as we get into the fall, but I don't think we've gotten there just yet.
All right, well, we're going to see. That's all our top 5 for this month, but make sure to check back next month as we break down the top releases for the month of April and compare them to that leaderboard we just showed you right now. We're going to see which shoe remains at the top and which ones are going to get bumped off. Shout out to Connor, my co-host. I have been Lawrence. You can find me at LDoggyStyles on Instagram, and we are OUTPEs.